Hello and welcome to Joy in Our Town. Today joining us is Miss Susie Jennings with Operation Care International and Mr. Ron Batts. Thank you so much both for coming back here.
Glad to be here.
We love having Operation Care on. You all always have such great information to share with us on what's going on in the homeless community, and you do such great outreach for the community. So thank you so much for what you all do.
It's our pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
So to start off, just if you can give our viewing audience, maybe they haven't seen you all on here before, a little background about Operation Care and what you all do.
Well, I believe this is our 9th year to have the nation's largest party to help the homeless and disadvantaged kids at the Dallas Convention Center. It's December the 15th, and it's a wonderful day of making them feel as they should be, very special. We have lots of things we do for them, and as we meet their needs.
It's wonderful. The total homeless population, what does that look like right now this year in the DFW area?
Well, I can just gauging by the number of guests we had. Last year we had a total of about 8,000 guests. Approximately half were homeless, so 4,000 to 5,000. So assuming that we got half the population, I would say we're still in that total metroplex, 10 to 12,000.
10 to 12,000. So we still have a very large number
Very large population
of homeless in the area. It's always good to hear the success stories that come out of outreaches and helping our homeless community. Of course, we hear the sad ways that different people have ended up where they are. And there's been a lot of families who have become homeless as well. We're seeing that a lot more. Do you all have any success stories that you could share with us, and maybe a process a family went through or a person, an individual went through?
Well, yes, and actually our guests have increased last year with regards to families. We have about over 4,000 children, and it's amazing that the study, 1 in every 4 children, they are homeless.
Goodness.
And the same thing with veterans. And so it's increasing more in the children and the family side, homelessness. And when you get to our event, it's a big birthday party for Jesus. That's really what we wanted it to be known. And when you get to our event, you could see families there that some were just crying because they were so happy to be in you just picture a big, like a Disney World with everything free, from pony rides, petting zoo, rock wall climbing, face painting, balloon artists, food, entertainment, books, crafts, a lot of other, most special place is the one-on-one evangelism where we teach them about Jesus. And that's the wonderful place. And foot washing. We wash their feet, put on socks, shoes, and people that could not afford shoes, they cry because they could not even afford a Christmas. So going to our event is the Christmas that they will never have if they did not come to our event. And families that were so poor that could not afford it, they sometimes come real early at 5 in the morning, the whole family with children, some with 5 children, that are so joyful when they get there because it's so peaceful when you get there. The Spirit of God is in that place.
You provide such an amazing amount of emotional needs. You meet so many emotional needs of the homeless in the community with this, and just the joy and the hope that is brought.
Oh, that's when they enter. This is my favorite part. I actually am in charge of the outside, so I'm able to see every one of them come through that door, and we have parallel lines of volunteers as the homeless and as these children and these disadvantaged families are entering at a different place. We have people that applaud and cheer them and give them high fives. That just, to see the joy on the look of these homeless folks as people are high-fiving and celebrating them coming, it's the best moment of the day for me. I don't think there's been a year, though, to go back to your question, that we haven't either had someone reunited as a family member. We've put them on buses. We'll do that every year. And I also don't think we've had a single year where we haven't had a homeless alumni from the prior year back active in our society, working again and helping us and helping give back to those that are still on the streets. Not a year, I don't think, has gone by that hasn't happened multiple times.
It's great to hear the stories about paying it forward.
Yep.
You know, those who have come before and now they're giving back, and that's beautiful to hear that this is out there and this is available to them to bring them that hope and that joy. And it just it's always sad to hear about children who are homeless.
Yes.
Because we take so much for granted. So it's good to hear that you're meeting their emotional needs too, and you're providing fun for them.
Yes.
Right.
And actually, also with regards to veterans, last year we honored homeless vets and also the World War II veterans. But we honored the homeless vets, and 3 of those homeless vets we were able to find homes for them. So we put them in apartments, and we pay for their initial rent. So now they are now contributing members of the society
That's wonderful.
and working.
It's great to hear the success stories. And unfortunately, there's always the other side of it too, where there's a lot of challenges. So can you share with us what some of the challenges are that you have faced with helping the homeless community?
Well, they have a lot of needs, and so making sure we have enough to meet all their needs is always a challenge. I think every year we would like to have more coats. We give them coats for both the children and the adults, and certainly for the children, that's one area we chronically never have enough. In terms of meeting the needs of the footwear, that's always a challenge, especially for the men who need work boots, because these people want to work, but often they're so poor they don't have the right boots that would allow them to work on a construction site. So we never have enough steel-toed work boots. So those are 2 things that quickly come to mind.
That's good to hear. Steel-toed work boots.
Yes.
Lots of coats.
Coats, lots of coats,
Lots
and
of
shoes, of course, too.
Lots of shoes. And of course, the homeless have basic needs that need to be
Right.
met as well.
Right.
And how do you go about meeting those needs for them?
Personal care product kit. Gives them all the essentials that we take for granted, like a toothbrush and toothpaste and soap, and a washcloth, and a comb. We put all that together in a package and give it to them so that they can have the personal hygiene that builds up self-confidence and self-esteem, and we provide that to them. Every person that comes gets one of those.
Definitely. We take those things for granted, don't we?
We do.
Absolutely. And it does make such a difference, builds that confidence. And Miss Susie has a...
Yes, I have blanket and toy. Christmas will not be Christmas if there's no toys for children. And by the way, God gave us a vision this year. We will have feeding the 5,000. So we will have 5,000 children, and we will include the refugees of Dallas. We're going to bus them to Convention Center to celebrate Jesus' birthday. So we will have 5,000 children and then 5,000 cupcakes with 5 colors. Black for sin, red for blood, white for purity, green growth, yellow heaven. So there will be 5,000 cupcakes in 5 layers, and it will be massive. So we have added another 100,000 square feet.
Yes.
So there's a total of 300,000 square feet just for the whole event.
Wow.
Right.
So the need, but we have the community that love to support us. And we are very grateful for our community because they're very caring. Dallas is such a caring community.
Yes.
And so we need volunteers, we need decorators, we need decorations, lots of Christmas trees because our Christmas trees are a little old now.
It takes a lot of decorations to decorate a 300,000 square foot house. That's big.
That is big. That is very big. Lots of Christmas trees. Now, for those who would like to drop off some of the toiletries or blankets or toys or coats and wants more information, where can they go to do all of that?
Go to our website, right, Susie?
Go to our website. It's www.opcare.org. And there's a telephone number that they could call in the office also. And they could drop it in the warehouse.
That's great. So here, when they go to that website or they call that number, they'll find out the needs
Right.
Yes.
for the homeless community and how they can help and what they can
And where they can drop
bring.
off at our
Where
warehouse.
they can drop off. And that's always good to know because we know that it's being used. We know that it's getting to the homeless community.
Yes.
We know that that you're really making a difference. And
Right.
we just appreciate that and just compliment you with the amount of work
Right.
that you all do. It's
2 more
amazing.
quick fun food facts. Last year
yes.
was our first ever 1,000 dozen donut day. We gave out 1,000 dozen
1,000
dozen donuts before they got into the convention center. And by the way, it takes about 4.5 hours just to get them all in. The lines will go maybe up to a mile long combined between the 2 sides, the children's and family side and the homeless side. And last year we almost served 10,000 hot beef stew meals in there. Through our Texas Baptist Men relationship.
That sounds like a great place to go. Donuts, beef stew, cupcakes.
That's a lot of cooking,
That's
too.
a lot of cooking.
It's called Feeding the 5,000 in the children's area,
Yeah.
where you could see 5,000 children singing Happy Birthday, Jesus at 1 o'clock.
That's precious. Having the 5,000 children there, what a great vision to have,
Right.
to touch those children. What are some of the future plans in reaching out to the homeless in the DFW area that Operation Care has?
Wow, you have a big vision.
Well, we have a vision for Dallas that, God willing, in the future, we will have a restaurant for the homeless. It's called Pennies for the Stars. The stars will be the homeless, and then we will have our waiters to be homeless, and our chef will be homeless, and then they will serve the homeless population.
Yeah, they'll learn job skills to know how to run the restaurant business while they're taking care of other people, and we'll raise money through that to funnel back into the ministry, helping people at the same time. Also, your bus. We're going to have a
We have
Mercy
medical
bus.
bus.
A
Mercy
medical
bus.
That's
that will
fantastic.
travel to the homeless camps. I think last count there were 25 cardboard cities scattered around the Metroplex where they live in cardboard under the bridges. So our thought was, why don't we equip a bus, maybe a retired DART bus, that we could make it into a roving medical missionary bus that would go around with doctors and nurses staffing it and helping the sick where they are, and then determining, where do you need to go from here.
So you're supplying basic needs, you're helping with job skills, you're helping with medical needs,
Connecting them to their families.
and connecting them to their families,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
a beautiful thing to hear, especially when they've been estranged from their
Last year we had
families.
10 different hospitals, medical clinics. So, there we run a full medical clinic for the day as well. So for all the folks that are our guests.
They're your guests, so they get to be checked out and
Yep.
make sure that they're healthy and
Yep.
they're okay.
Optical gave away, I think, almost 300 pair of eyeglasses
Yes.
last year that we, read their prescription needs and gave glasses to them. We had people there looking at dental issues. And of course, the most touching thing, which is also part of our medical really, is our foot washing area, where they come in and we take their worn out, battered shoes, take them off, volunteers on their knees, take their old worn off socks, and then clean and treat their feet. We have podiatrists that volunteer to help us with that, any medical needs. And then we put brand new socks and shoes back on their feet. It's just one of the most, and there's, I think it was over 6,000 pair of shoes given away like that last year by volunteers on their knees, serving the least of those.
That is one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard.
Yes.
I mean, to watch their faces and to see the
Yes.
changes, I'm sure, just in their countenance has to be amazing during that time for them. For those who are watching today, who want to hear more about Operation Care International and who really want to learn more about how to communicate with the homeless in our community, what would you encourage them to do and how to get that information?
Well, first of all, Susie is available to come talk to groups, or myself, or any of the board members of Operation Care, to come tell the story and really give them a firsthand account of it. But the website's a wonderful resource of all the work, because Operation Care obviously doesn't just do Dallas; they do international things as well. So to talk about homelessness as a international crisis, you'll find that on the website.
That's wonderful. Well, you're doing a great thing for the homeless community in the DFW area. You're providing so much more than, the basic needs, yes, but you're really providing an uplifting of their spirit, of their emotions, and just really helping them to feel loved. So,
One more thing, that not one incident last year. We had thousands of people in the plaza outside the convention center waiting to get in. It was cold. Waiting for hours. They show up hours in advance. We did not have one fight, no incident whatsoever.
that's wonderful.
Nothing.
That's awesome. That is wonderful to hear. Thank you so much, and congratulations on your success every year with this particular
Thank you.
party. And we just want to thank you for coming back and talking with us, and keep doing what you're doing for the homeless. out
Thank you for
there.
having us back
Thank you
again
for having
this year.
us. And the goal for this year is to reunite 12 homeless to their families.
That's a wonderful goal. I hope you meet that. Thank you all for watching Joy in Our Town today.